Hello, hello. Think that means we're live. It's happening. It's happening again. There we go. The words are in there somewhere. I can find words sometimes. I'm just making sure it's actually working. Is it working? Say something, Levi. Stupid live stream. Think that. Yep, cool. We are working. Awesome. I was going to say, how's everybody doing? But I'm sure nobody's online just yet. But yeah, I need to share this in a few places. So bear with me. It's been a rush of a night, as always. A little bit later than usual tonight. Been out playing some cards. Hey gang, I'll be live here for the next 3 hours. Come see me transcribe some Kirk, Fletcher and Josh Smith. Or just hang. Cool. Make sure that works. We'll share that in a couple of places. Oh, that is working. Yep. Not even checking for typos. Real rush tonight, like mega rush to get this done. Let's see how that's going. You guys should be able to see me okay, I assume. We'll see. Where else do I share these things? Patreon, that would be a good place to share it, wouldn't it? I feel like I should start these streams with some you know, like background music, so things are playing, so I don't have to talk and you guys can enjoy something. But we all know the only things that I have to enjoy are my albums. Albums. I can't decide. And you're tired of hearing those, right? So you don't want more of that. You're gonna have to put up with me talking for a bit. Almost shared everywhere. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to do the Instagram thing, don't I? That's always fun. The cheesy Instagram thing. All right, let's make sure this is all working. If you are online, if you're watching, please do say hello. Oh, look, comments are coming in. I will respond to all of those in a second. Let me do the cheesy Instagram thing that I like to do. Ready for it? Don't know why I do these. Hey guys, it's that time of the month again. Oh yes. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live. Head on over to my YouTube channel. I will be here for the next maybe 3 hours transcribing some Josh Smith and some Kirk Fletcher. Lots of fun to be had, and different this time because the new lights mean that I'm not cooking. So yes, you'll see a happier, cheerier Levi because I won't be melting by the end of this stream. Which, who knows, maybe that means I'll stream longer. Anyway, yeah, head on over to youtube.com/c/Levi Clay. That is of course my channel, and I will see you at some point. Yeah, laters. Live on YouTube. Cool. Right, we can probably start now, can't we? So prepared, making such an effort for you guys. Not done my hair, and I've got this horrible spot that's driving me crazy. But, you know, it is what it is. So let me read some of these comments. Let me see who's online, and we'll go from there. So scroll down. Here we go. Ryan Woodard rocks. He retracted his message. That's a shame. Hey Jim, Richard. Good evening, Richard. Good to see you, buddy. Ivan, hello. Ryan keeps redacting all of his messages. Hello from Wenatchee. Cool. Hello, Jeffrey. How's it going, buddy? Ryan finally comments. How's it going, Ryan, from Nevada? I'll be in Nevada at some point, probably September 2nd, maybe. Thank you very much, Jim. I work very hard on bringing you these videos. I do enjoy doing them. I'll keep doing them if you guys keep watching them. And you know what? If you don't keep watching them, I'm going to still keep doing them. So, Yes, how's the sound? Can everybody hear me okay? Connor, how's it going, man? Connor is the man. Connor is a funny guy. I like Connor a lot. Tyler, howdy howdy. Kirk, he's back. Kirk, wham it. Watching in the shower. Of course you are. Touching yourself, I was going to say profusely. Can you touch yourself profusely? Touching yourself, I was going to say inappropriately, but very appropriate. Touching yourself appropriately. Hi Paul, how's it going, man? Dealing with some elbow issues, man. It's just the worst when you have problems with your body that stop you from playing the guitar. I have problems with my body aside from just being fat. I have problems in my wrist, so I'll be talking about that on some upcoming videos actually, because I got this. I've got this axe cam mount. Is that what it's called? Yeah, axe cam mount that I can use to mount my phone and record my picking hand, much like Troy Grady's magnet kind of thing. So I'll do some videos on that. I'll talk about my picking technique and why I pick the way I do. And spoilers, comes down to wrist problems. So Steve, how's it going from Texas? I love Texas. Again, I'll be in Texas kind of early September. Cannot wait to be in Nashville. And Brian, greetings from Nashville. Again, I will be in Nashville in September. So looking forward. I've never been. Of course, I've been to Nevada, I've been to Texas, I've driven Route 66 before, so I've done a lot of the states. I'm coming back to do Route 66 again, but we're detouring and going into Nashville for a couple of days, so I'm going to get to hang out in Nashville, get to see my buddies over at VPix, which actually reminds me, that's awkward, this stream is brought to you by VPix. I thought that was on. Let's see, there's Texas, Nashville, it's that time of the month again. Yep. Smoothie. Hey Levi, made it. Good. Ryan, why do you keep retracting your messages? Optimizer, how's it going, man? The Optimizer, he's a great guy. Great name. Connor, yeah. Kirk, Ryan, you hear me? Good. Yeah, more people in Texas. Texas, the great state of Texas. The Lone Star State. Again, absolutely love Texas. Cannot wait to be back in Texas. I was going to say if there was anywhere I could move in the States, it would be Texas. Maybe not strictly true, because I love so many places in the States. But yeah, I do really enjoy Texas. And of course, one of the homes of Western Swing. And I love Western Swing. So, yeah. Let's see. What about Fender Telecasters? Awesome, Tyler. I'm glad you're working that into the routine. How's it going, Ben? I think I've caught up. Yeah. Cool. So let me get on with some stuff. So I should do the Ryan's in the witness protection program. I didn't realise that once you made a comment on a live stream that you could retract the comment. I thought you had to be an admin in order to be able to do that, which is a great segue, actually. If you would like to become a moderator on the stream for the night, there is a way that you can do that. You can send me a super chat with a message. So if you super chat me, assuming it's more than a penny, I will make you a moderator. So you can, you can help me police the stream, and you can also feel very important, because you are very important. You're very important to me. Anyway, yeah, so admin stuff. This stream is brought to you by VPix. Thank you very much for your support. I love the guys over at VPix. And yeah, head on over, check out some of their picks. I've used them for 9 years now. Absolutely love their product, their stuff. Couldn't think of anyone else. I've not really said this before, but the reason I've taken my relationship with VPix further is because I was approached by another company who offered me a signature pick, and I just have no interest in a product other than the VPix stuff. I would rather be with VPix and not have a product with my name on it than be with another company and play something that I don't love. So I love the VPix stuff. So yeah, much love to Vinny and those guys over there. Do head on over to vpix.com and check them out. What else do I have to say? It's also brought to you by these people over here, some of my supporters over on patreon.com. I know some of you guys are in the stream right now. Optimizer, I've seen you in there. I believe Richard Henry is on there. Who else have I seen in the stream? Paul is on the stream. Is Paul on the stream? Yeah. There's just too many names now. And I love all these people very much. They help me to keep doing the things that I do. And lastly, the stream is brought to you by my books. So head on over to Amazon.com and buy a copy of one of my books. In fact, I'll go one better than that. If you want to check out slide guitar soloing techniques, I have a very, very limited amount of copies of that. They are the only copies that I will get of that. I have maybe 35 copies of that left. So I can sell copies of that, and when they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to get a signed copy of the book, that of course is the best way to get the book, because all the money goes in my pocket. So if you would like to get yourself a copy of that, £15 plus postage, send me a message, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up somewhere. I would love to get rid of them, and I would love you guys to have one, because I love how that book came out. So yeah, that's it. Shall we get on with the work? I'll just check comments again. Inani, 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 inani. Hilarious. Were you great on guitar and music early on in life? Not that you're old now. I mean, Jim, I am old now. I'm 30 now. Crazy, right? How time flies. No, I wasn't. I didn't pick up music. I didn't pick up a guitar. I say didn't pick up music like I had no interest in music until I hit 14, and then picked up guitar for the same reason everybody picks up guitar, because there was a girl who, there was a girl, and we were in a relationship for I don't know, 3 years maybe, and then she left me for one of my bandmates, and he was older than me and he was a good guitar player. So from there on out, it was a vengeance thing. It was, well, I might not be able to have the girl, but I've at least got to be better than him. Needless to say, I think I'm probably better than him now. I think he's probably still working in the chip shop that his family own. And I'm sure the two of them are still very happy together, not bitter in the slightest. But essentially, I had to work a hell of a lot to get good at the guitar, and I'm still not good. I'm passable, I'm passable. I can get by, and that's all that's important. So I guess what's important is that I enjoy it. I enjoy playing. I love playing the instrument. I love making music, and I love, just having fun. So, but I did put in a lot of time, and, I studied a lot, practiced a lot. I read a lot of materials, and then I went to London and studied at university, and I practiced a lot there, and I've put in a lot of time. Like, I'm here doing a transcribing stream because I'm good at transcribing. I wasn't good at transcribing. There was a time where I sucked at it. The reason I started doing it was because there was music that I wanted to learn that wasn't written down, and my ears were terrible, absolutely awful. So I needed to I take everything very slowly. I relied heavily on tabs for everything, and because certain things like Symphony X or whatever, there weren't tab books for that stuff, I needed to work out what was going on. So I started transcribing. I was bad at it. I got better. So I put in the work. That's what I'd say there. Put in the work. Ryan, yes, I do take Skype lessons. £30 for Skype lessons. Do quite a lot of those. I'm looking up at my board right now, and it's full of Skype lessons. Skype lessons. I love teaching, so that's cool. Those are cool guitars. What Telecasters? Yeah, Telecasters are cool guitars. I will give you that. See what's happening here. Everything's falling apart. Where do those comments go? I'm losing everything here. Losing my mind. There we go. Richard, am I going to go see Josh? When is Josh playing? I forget when Josh is playing. If you could remind me, I'll go see Josh play. I saw him play in Edinburgh before, and that was great. So, yes. Finally streamed during US work hours. I always stream at this time. It's extremely late here. My wife hates the fact that I stream this late at night, but I do it once a month so she can deal with it. She's very considerate in that respect. So, yeah, and I try and do it to hit the US evening. So, Jim, 51. Playing 30 plus. Well, I mean, I guess that I'm making an assumption here, but I play for a living. Like, music is my job. It's not so I don't just play for like half an hour a day and then go off and do a day job. Like, I do music. So I fortunately have, for the last 10 years, have had the guitar in my hands a hell of a lot. So I've had my guitar in my hands for, probably longer than someone that's been playing for 30 years. So, yeah. Tyler, I'm trying to remember what that comment is in reference to. Can't remember. My favourite band, that changes. I couldn't even tell you my favourite genre, to be honest. That, constantly changes. I'm not bitter. I am married now, yeah. My hard work shows. Thank you very much, Jim. March 10th. Different place than the last time. When is March 10th? Oh wow, next Sunday. Next Sunday. I will send Dudley. I assume Dudley's putting on. I'll send him a message and see if I can get a ticket on the door, or guest listed. You know, the only girls interested in guitar now are edgy goth chicks. Well, to be fair, the girl at the time was an edgy goth chick. So anyway, let's crack on with some work, right? So I have a couple of things that I'm transcribing this evening. I am transcribing. What am I transcribing? I'm transcribing Kirk Fletcher and Josh Smith, and it's a struggle for which one I want to do first. So, oh, look at these comments. They just keep coming in. I love the fact that all these comments come in, but I do want to do some work. I'm going to answer them, though. Looking at a PRS, I don't own any PRSs. I don't particularly like PRS guitars. It's not that I dislike them, but I've never played one that I've gone, holy shit, this is amazing. I've seen many that I've looked at and have gone, wow, this is amazing. But then when I've played them, I've just been like, yeah, cool, it's a guitar. So not a deep love for their stuff. It could be the scale length, like that's somewhere between Gibson and Fender scale length. Like I like a Fender scale length. So, but any lesser known brands that I enjoy, well, you know, I endorse Vigier guitars. I love Vigier guitars, and I've been working with Mayonnaise guitars for a while now. Absolutely love their stuff. Love their stuff. Lesser known brands. I've been considering having Carson Hess make me a Telecaster because his work is impeccable. What else am I digging? To be completely honest, I don't spend my time looking for guitars. I have some great guitars that I enjoy playing thoroughly, and yeah, trying to avoid buying more. British rock, double my age, boomer, yeah. 2 of your lives. You're watching in a chip shop, Connor, what a legend. Yeah, 30-year-old boomer, that's me. Anyway, cool. So, yeah, we've got Kirk Fletcher and we've got Josh Smith. So if I bring it up, I've not even opened these yet. Let me bring these up. We should probably start with Kirk Fletcher because that'll be the easier of the two. Open that up with Transcribe. Let's bring up Guitar Pro. Be with you in a second, guys. Okay, cool. Maybe 50%. Cool. So, if I click this, boom, there we go. Now, where am I going to put my face? I guess we'll put my face down in the bottom. You can see the time. It's 11:30, 11:15. Apparently, I can't read the time. So, yes, let me put this over here so I can still read those comments as they come in, because that's quite useful. That's quite important. Oh, I can't believe I missed the other thing. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, if you enjoy watching what I do, then please share the stream. Let people know. The more people that watch, the better. I want to do the Josh Smith one first too, but the Kirk Fletcher one's easier. So any tips on singing when your voice isn't having it that day? My voice is never having it, mate. Do I play a Gibson guitar? I have 2 Gibsons. I have the Gibson Howard Roberts down here, and I have a Gibson Music City Junior, which is like a Les Paul, but it has a B bender. Well, I've actually changed it to a G bender. So yeah, that's what I have. Cool. So yeah, just for your information. In fact, you know what I could do? I could probably give you guys a link for this, couldn't I? Let's do this. Levi Clay, transcribe. Bring this up. Edit. Cool. Right. There you go. Link. That's a link I've posted in the comments, a link to this software up here, Transcribe. This is the software I use for playback of audio, for looping sections. I can import video into it, and it really makes my job a hell of a lot easier. So if you're looking to improve your transcription skills, I would recommend that software. Full disclosure, if you use that link, the software is $40. I'll get like $10 of that if you order via that link. So it's a really good way to support the channel. Yeah. Transcribe is where it's at. So anyway, let's take a look at this track. Let's have a listen. Let's see what it's all about. You'll see Dudley Ross, he is in this video. Katie Bradley.
Where you can go, darling, ain't gonna beg you to stay. Where you can go, darling.
You get the idea. I'm going to skip to the solo. There he is, Dudley Ross, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, darling, ain't gonna beg you to stay. Well, I'd sure love to keep you, but it just ain't no way.
Here we go.
Ain't no way.
1, 2, 3. So to let you know what I'm doing, I'm listening to the recording, listening to the pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the start of each measure, I'm pressing the M key. That gives me, that puts in the markers for where measures are. And then I'll be able to set up loops with those and slow things down and, you know, have a... It's like an organised desk is my way of thinking about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I don't know what any tune is. Optimizer. So copy the link, put it into. I used to use KeepVid, but that got closed down. I now use a website called Y2Mate. That's the letter Y, then the number 2, mate, and you can download YouTube videos and then open them up in Transcribing.
Well, I can't.
Cool. So there's that solo, right? YouTube DL. Okay. So I don't need maybe software would work. Yeah. Still waiting on those super chats though, guys. Right. So let me put the pickup bar. 1, 2, so it's like a pickup bar. Let's make that a section. Let's make this a section. So now I've got that marked out. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to right click this marker, edit this marker. I'm going to subdivide by 4 beats because there's 4 beats in a bar, right? So when I do that, it's going to put these markers in. Now I can very clearly, if I want to highlight just 2 beats, and I can slow it down 50% speed if I need to. Piece of software like this, guys, an absolute godsend. When I started transcribing, I was using Windows Media Player. Yeah, having to click and drag back and then loop and yeah. Any advantages for those with perfect pitch? Well, I don't have perfect pitch. I don't even have the best relative pitch. Anyway, let's get transcribing, right? So the context is important, so it's in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it has a swing feel. Da 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 da. Right, so I'm going to go new. I'm going to do clean guitar. I'm gonna clean guitar, clean strat sound. That'll do. That's fine. I'm not worried about sound really. And then I'm going to put in a swing marker like this. So now, I can get to work. What's amazing, Tyler? What's amazing? I'm just going to keep posting that. Purchase here. Anything that puts $10 in my pocket is good. So, oh God, Yeaterson's back. Ben Scott, thank you very much, my man. You are now moderator for the channel. Welcome to the party. If you see any offensive comments, please do remove them. Most of them will probably be Jordan Jordan B. Yeaterson or Kirk Wammett, who might potentially be the same person. Audacity before Transcribe. So you can do all of this stuff in Audacity, but I don't know. Yeah, the user interface for setting up loops and things like that is everything that whenever you can do something quick, that's good, right? I keep making the same mistakes every single time I do this. In fact, I may have it open. Let's have a look. I won't make the mistake now. Turn that off. I won't make the mistake. This is the guitar solos. I need to... In fact, I'm going to do it here with you watching, right? So I'm going to save as template, right? And now I can put, look, guitar solos. And now, when I do a new guitar solos, I don't have to put all of my plugins in again, right? I can load up a preset. It saves me time, and anything that saves you time means that you can put more time into the things that need time. So presets and things, it's good. Transcribe saves me time, which is good. Oh, Scott, that's a good question. My thoughts on warm-up guitars. Don't bother. They make really nice stuff. They really do. They make really nice stuff. Really nice necks. They make really nice bodies. They do. They truly do. But what I have always found with high-end guitars is like a world-class luthier matches the neck to the body. And you don't get that with warm-up. I've had a couple of warm-up necks in the past, and I just feel that they don't sit in the neck pocket in the way that I really want them to do. I want them to be brutally tight. What have we got here? Ryan, are you leaving? Bye, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in, man. Share it on your Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. So I find that, with warm-up, stuff never marries together. So you can get an amazing neck and an amazing body, and if those two don't work together, it doesn't work. And I have luthier friends that I've seen, build a neck and build a body, and then they put them together, and then it's not right. And they can either tweak the neck to make the neck a better fit for the body, or they can start from scratch on the neck or start from scratch on the body. And honestly, I've always found that to be quite an important part of guitar building. Anyway, getting sidetracked. So the solo starts in beat 3. 1, 2, 3. Ba bum da da da. And it's that triplet feel. 1 and 2 and rest. Rest, note, 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 note. Rest, note, 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 note. Let's go with that. And the beauty of videos, I can see where he's playing it, which is why I'm not using a guitar, right? So I'll put that in. And that's a double stop. He's playing a third there. Although he doesn't actually slide on that third one, I'm going to put it in. So da 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 da. I'll do ba ba ba. No worries. Thank you for tuning in. Never been tempted to make my own guitar. I've not. No. For the same reason I've never been tempted to build my own car. I'd rather leave that to somebody that really knows about building cars. So I'll copy paste here because I can check that. And it's the same as that bar. And again, shortcut, right? Anything that saves time is good. Let's format this so it's always 2 bars per line. Phone's going. What's that? Oh, it's Instagram. I love a bit of Instagram. So we'll just copy that. You could argue on whether or not he actually does that slide in on the first one. I don't think it's all that important. It's what you're going to learn from it, right? Now he's going into single note melody. It's worth pointing out if you want to talk like fretboard navigation and learning this stuff, this is all C-shaped cage system. So process the rhythm. I've only heard it once, but it's da 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 bra da 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 da. Only needed to hear that once. Ba da 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 da. Let's get the right note. Sing everything. Adulting sucks. Adulting is the worst. Let me see if I'm getting any comments on Facebook. I should probably check that, shouldn't I? Richard Henry had shared it. Thank you very much. Richard is the man. Anyway, back to where I was. I hate stuff like that because he kind of floats. Tons of ways that you could write that. I'm just going to go with that. Again, my dogs. Let's put the vibrato on there, why not? Ba 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 da da da. Love those. Da 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 da, like triplet crotchets. Nice classic blues line there, though, right? Jim, what kind of computer am I using? I'm running a PC. I built it myself. It's a... I can't even remember anymore. I guess I can pull up the specs for you. Let's have a look. There you go. So it's an Intel i7 770K, 4.2 gigahertz. 32 gig of RAM, run Windows 64-bit. Not a particularly fancy graphics processor. No need to, I don't game on it. I play a bit of Magic on it, but that's it. Yeah, got enough to get by. Anyway, let's get this. So we're jumping up to the 13th fret. That's hilarious. Well, thank you very much, Mellow Jim. Thank you for the thanks for the $10. Shame I didn't get it via Transcribe, but I appreciate you throwing it here. You've been made a moderator, so thank you very much for the support. That's funny though. Now, these are triplet crotchets, triplet quarter notes. Da 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 da. Blues curl on that. These are the kind of things that don't deserve to be, deserve is the wrong word, aren't traditionally written out. You don't need this stuff like written out. I like that. Ba ba da, it's on the beat. Ba ba da. Change your string. Plays it on the G string, then on the D string. Ba ba ba. Let's put a little blue scale on that. You know what? I'm going to talk about this phrase. So when you hear something like this, can you hear what he's doing there? These are blues licks. These are the kinds of things you play. Can you imagine playing that? Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. That's 7 on the G, bent up. Then you play 5 and 5 on the B and high E. Then we've got 8 to 5 on the B string, jumping down to the 8th fret on the G string, which is that flat 5, that blues note. Ba da 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 da. Now you want to be pedantic, put a little blues curl on that 8th fret because he bends it a bit sharp. Same on the 5th fret here. Bends that a little bit sharp. Well, the other thing that was worth pointing out, I was going to mention this actually. If I look at the audio file, I can see that the right channel is definitely louder than the left channel. So just to check, I wanted to go into the effects panel and listen to... You can hear the guitar a lot clearer if I isolate that right channel, right? I don't need it, but I'm going to leave it on just so you can... Yeah, I've never considered using the foot pedal. I've considered it. I've never gone to the steps of implementing it. That's what he plays there. Triplet, 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 bo-do-da. The toughest transcription I've ever done. Oh man, it's just there's been so many over the years. There's been a bunch of Alan Holdsworth stuff that's made me want to throw the towel in. There's actually been an Alan Holdsworth job that I was doing for someone that I did about half of it, and then I ended up just giving them a full refund and saying, here, have what I've done. I don't want to do the rest. So lots of stuff like that. What else has been a real pain? Some like high level solo classical jazz type stuff, solo guitar stuff, where free time, anything that's free time, I hate doing free time stuff. The Josh Smith solo is solo, it's free time. He pushes and pulls a little bit here and there, but for the most part, there's a strong, steady groove. So anything that's free time, I hate. That could be any old nonsense that you write in there. It's just that idea that we're raking towards that next note. And there we go, first chorus down. Quick and easy, right? Let's take a look at these comments. Okay, I'll see what I can do about that gig. Are you going, Richard? Yep, Little Slave Brothers. They are the best option. Interesting that he does that, because that's flat third that he's playing on top. Just move my face out of the way. Copy paste saves me time. Anything that saves me time, worthwhile. Then plays this 4 times. So to process something like this and get this written in the rhythm I want, da 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 da. The last part is obviously triplets, da 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 da. That's not a problem. But what I need to focus on is this da 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 da. So is it triplet? Or is it 16th notes? Best thing to do, loop the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'd write that as 16ths. Like that. Ba ba ba. Same phrase as before. Bo da bo da bo da bo da do da do da. The hardest part about being so edgy, hurting people's feelings if they don't deserve it. I mean, no, the hardest part about being edgy is ruining my ability to stream on Instagram. Can't do that anymore. Ghost Fixter, how's it going? Good, man. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's write it as 16th notes. Ba da 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 bo da ba bo ba. Back up to the D. That's a you don't want to write this out, right? Trying to process if that adds up. Should add up. Should add up. Let me check. Yeah, that adds up. Just putting that in there as a rake, right? Oh, you can't wait to pre-order Children of Bodom's new album. Oh, remember when they were relevant? I like to tease. I've not listened to those guys in years and years. Yep, love having a teenage girl fan base. Get me arrested. Ba 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 ba. Oh, where's he go there? Da 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 da. Nice little jazz line there. Ba 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 ba. I'm putting a 6 in there, but muted. Open string muted.
Well, I well, I can't. Well, well,
Okay, that's us. That is that Josh Smith solo. I take a look at the Kirk Fletcher solo. Let's put a tempo marker in. Let's get it play along. Make sure it's as accurate as I want it to be. So 2, 3. Now in theory, if I put in this timer like this, we should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. They've sped up just a little bit. So let's just go from here. Slowing down, speeding up. But all good, all good. That'll do, right? That's good. Oh, what am I missing here? Let me read these comments. Would I recommend the software over other free programs? Yep, 100%. I don't think there's a free alternative. Levi, what website do you write music? That's not a fully formed question. Right, let me check my comments elsewhere, see if anything's come in that I need to pay attention to. Oh, that's a lot of emails. Patreon. Fuck off, Daniel McKenzie. Lots of YouTube comments. Nope, nothing of major importance. Right, that works. Cool. So, I'm going to hang about for a minute, and in fact, I'll tell you what, we'll take a vote. I'm going to go and get a drink. Do you want me to do the next Kirk Fletcher solo, the second solo on this, or do you want me to take a look at the Josh Smith one? So I will leave that one with you. I'll let the track play, and I'll be back in a minute, okay?
well, I can't get through to you. I'm gonna have to leave you alone. If you miss one bus, then another will come along. Oh, darling, ain't gonna beg you to stay. Well, I'd sure love to keep you, but it just ain't no way. one busts, then another will come along. Oh, darling, ain't gonna beg you to stay. Well, I'd sure love to keep you, but it just ain't no way. Well, I can't get through to you, I'm gonna have to leave you alone. If you miss one bus, then another will come along. Oh, darling, ain't gonna beg you to stay. Well, I'd sure love to keep you, but it just ain't no way.
Oh no, it's playing again. Right, let's take a look through the. I'll take a look through all these answers whilst eating a Nutrigrain bar. Nutrigrain, because Levi needs energy too. It looks like we might have the Josh Smith request. Nutrigrains are where it's at. Blueberry. I have another one here because I need more energy. I've not eaten since, I don't know, midday. Fine, Josh Smith it is. Right, let's get this one saved. Let's mark out the Josh Smith. One, two, three, four. Thanks for tuning in, Ryan. So the timing's pretty good throughout all of that. I assume that my microphone and the audio is going to be in time with each other, so I should be able to along with this hi-hat, just so you can hear like a 2-4, not a 1-2-3-4, but a 2-4, so we hear the phrase. I accidentally pressed the button there when I shouldn't have. You get the point though. So the goal is the focus here is accent on 2 and 4. He's accenting 2 and 4. It gives it that good, strong, solid swing feel. Now I talked about this last time, but the difference in my mind between 2-2 and 4-4 is where the accent is placed. In country music, where you have that boom, 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 that bass line moving on the 1 and 3. That 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. To me, that's 2-2. Whereas 4-4 is usually more rock backbeat type thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That focus is quite important. Sorry. Let me press play on this. No one wants to hear me sniffing and spluttering, do you? Right, cool. So let's get this written out. Now the goal here, the challenge for my Patreon guys for this, and you must remember that the whole point of these, the whole focus of these, is that these are my Patreon supporters' monthly transcription challenges. So those guys, $5 plus, they go away and transcribe this stuff. They submit their tracks. I have a look over them and, where appropriate, give them feedback and help them improve their transcribing game. That's the goal here, to become better transcribers, to develop your ear, to become a better musician. So, if you want to download the tabs of this and compare it to your own work and be able to ask me questions, check me out on Patreon, because Patreon is good. Anyway, back to Josh Smith. So, the goal, as I was saying, is getting the chords as well. So, not the chords he plays, but the implied harmony by what he is playing. So I mean, if we just focus on the first bar phrase, it's okay, it's a flat 7, so ignore me. Same thing, subdivide by 4 beats. So we have the this is a blues in B flat, so I'm going to put a B flat key signature in there. And it has a swing feel to it, just like the Kirk Fletcher did, so we put that swing feel in there. Same again, beat 3 is rest, and then we hit this percussive slap. And then oh, itchy eyeball. It's always fun. Love that. Love an itchy eyeball. Scratch my damn eye out. Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, it is 9. Putting that in as a muted note. And this is an anacrusis, a pickup bar, but I add those at the end in Guitar Pro. Now that's so much of an accent. I rarely put accents in, but I'm going to do it. Triplet. Da 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 da. That's a nice phrase. Now I'm looking for chords, right? So when I look at this, get rid of that count. That's so obviously a B flat 7 chord. You can literally see a B flat 7 there. So if this is a B flat 7, the second bar in a blues would be one of two things. We're either going to stay on the 1 chord for 4 bars, in which case we'd have another B flat 7, or we're going to shift to the 4 chord, which would be E flat 7. When I look at this, I can see this 6 sliding up to 7. These two notes, these kind of imply 3rd, 5th, 4th, third, flat 3rd to 3rd. So this very much looks like a B flat major pentatonic to me. And it is, so it stays on that B flat 7. Oh. Gotta get those little grace note hammers. Ba 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 ba. Triplet. Ba ba ba. Da da da. Now in a blues we'd expect a change here. In a jazz blues. You could even go further. You could, I mean, he's definitely playing B flat 7 here, but actually this phrase looks like B flat 6, which is a softer sound, right? It's a softer blues sound because we hit the dominant 7 here, and he literally lands on that 7. That's the 7th of B flat. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 oh. Da, 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 boom. Boom, ba. Now this is like a 5-1. That'd be E7 shifting down a semitone to E flat 7. The question is he playing? Is he playing the E? You asked Andy at Transcribe for audible markers so you could use it as a metronome. Thoughts? Why use it as a metronome and not in... Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, so you put them... There's tons of things that you could... add to Transcribe, but to be completely honest with you, these aren't things that it's not missing features for me. I do appreciate that what you're suggesting there, yeah, cool, by all means implement that, and that will be of use to some people, but it isn't of use to me because I don't use Guitar Pro for practice. I'm going to put that 4 in there because he does hit it on the way. Now that's B flat major, but he is hitting technically E7. I'll put it in brackets because it's E7. But I say E7, that's really a tritone substitution, right? Tritone substitution for a B flat 7 flat 5. Da, 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 da. I just want to save time. I'm just going to write it as 16th notes. Can't be asked. Da 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 boom. Triplet. Of this, you've got that four chord triad, E flat, ba 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 ba. It gives you that brings you home resolution back to your B flat. Now, of course, it's worth pointing out, you know, I'm doing this fast. I'm not having to think about what's going on here, and it's because these lines, maybe not that line, but a lot of these lines, these are things I've played before and heard many times, so I don't need to think about it so much. It's not the hardest thing in the world. Just checking comments elsewhere. Oh. Should have suggested you guys share this stuff up on Reddit. That's where I'm constantly trying to get people to post. Constantly wanting people to post my stuff on Reddit. That's, yeah, breaking into Reddit is hard work. Nothing of note coming up. Can delete all that then. Don't need to read all those YouTube comments. Don't need to read that. Just constant emails. Gotta love the constant emails, right? Oh, transcribing to do as well. I don't just mean this, you know, this thing that I'm doing for you wonderful, wonderful people on YouTube. I mean, you know, got actual stuff, jobs. Now I'd expect a 6 chord here. Copy, copy, paste. Anything that saves me time. Now we have to analyze this. C minor. Ah, no. Thank you very much for tuning in, Steve. It really does mean a lot. And yeah, I hope you have a good drive home. I hope you have a lovely evening, whatever it is you have planned. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. 4 minor. Yeah. That's nice. Hello, Stafford's Music Studio. How's it going, my man? Ba, ba, da, da, ba, da, da. Major pentatonic. Anyway, chords, right? So let's get this done. So if we go, so B flat, staying on the B flat. Da, 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 da. There's the 4 chord. Sitting on that 4 chord. Da, da. Back to the 1 chord. B flat 7. So this is moving down, and he's ba, ba, da, da. Now C minor will make sense here. C minor 7, because that would be the 2 chord in B flat, and I like that as a jazz blues that I like to play a lot. Let me grab my Gibson. Let's get it tuned up. Not plugged this in a while, so give it a second. Probably be horrendously out of tune. Ready for an E chord? Oh, not that bad. Who would have thought it? The G string on a Gibson, out of tune. So cool, yeah, in a normal blues where we would expect if the 1 chord was a B flat. There's the 4 chord. Let me bring myself up on screen so you can see me in big. 4 chord. You'd expect 5. down to the 4. That's not what Josh is doing here. By the sounds of things, I'm anticipating this, but it sounds to me like he plays 2, 5, 1. So that would be. I think he's going to be doing that, so let's find out. That would make sense. That would totally make sense. And sense is what we like. Norm MacDonald, a new study from Fender shows that 50% of guitarists are women. Turns to camera, or so the Germans would have us believe. Yep. Oh, I'm not playing that, am I? So, C minor. Let me hear it in context. It's not the most eloquent F7 chord. In fact, it doesn't even look like an F7 at all. It looks like he's playing B flat. I don't like it, but I'm just for my records, I'm putting F7 in there. I'm going to put it in brackets because that's what I would expect it to be. Really what we're looking for is this 5th fret. If you're in B flat, right? If we're in B flat, the 5th fret, A natural, right? B flat, A natural, that's the 7th, the major 7th in relation to B flat. Now chances of you playing the A natural over a B flat 7 chord are virtually nothing, right? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Do I know who Norm MacDonald is? I can't say I do, sorry. Chances of us playing that A natural in B flat over a B flat 7, non-existent, because it's major 7th, B flat 7 has a flat 7 in the chord. So this A that we see here is a lot more likely to be the 3rd of F7, F7 being the 5 chord. So anytime I see that A as placed as prominently as it is here, well, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that to be the 5 chord. So F7, and we've got B flat 7. Again, I just want to make a note of this because this is nice. This would be E flat minor 7, or E flat minor. Just interesting that, and it walks up chromatically to. I mean, I know who it is. Of course, I know who it is. I don't want to name you. There's only one person that watches my streams. It's just one person with 40 accounts. Let's put an F7 in there. Yeah, cool. Anyway. Accent on that, why not? I know you can't see, sorry, let me fix that. Ba 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 ba. am I doing? Does he slide? Is that... He plays both of those. It's like a slide between... Well, not like a slide. It is a slide between the two. Million times. Fingers are on the wrong keys. It's going to be E flat, right? Which would be 13. E flat major pentatonic. So chords again. B flat 7. Nice E flat line. I know you can't see. E flat 7 da da da. Is he down there? He's not down there. You, yep, but unlike YouTube comments where you can comment under as many different pseudonyms as you like, when you get to vote, you can only do it once. And also, you don't really get to vote, do you? You don't get to vote. Marcus gets an extra vote. You vote for who he tells you to vote for. That E flat minor there is ridiculous. I love it. Up to that C minor. Like C minor 9. Yeah. If you slide down a fret from ba-da to 10, that will be the third of B flat. Da, ba-da, da, da, da. Look at that, B flat triad. Who would have guessed it? Play that move all the time. Now, let's make a note of this. So this is C minor, and then instead of playing F, we have E flat minor. E flat minor, which then is resolving to B flat. Now, that is 24 bars. Oh, there's a pickup bar, isn't it? Sorry, I need to... One more bar of solo before I... So that's slick as all hell. Now I want to go back. Now, is that what's going on here where I've put F7? Could this be... No, not really. It still kind of looks like... This still looks kind of like C minor. No, doesn't. Sorry, took one out my arse. B flat. Yeah, B flat 7, isn't it? It's definitely B flat. This isn't the slickest of lines. But everything else, as the solo goes on, this is super cool. E flat. So back to B flat 7 there. Not 76. Now, let's play along. Russell, how's it going, my man? Let's put an anacrusis on this. Actually, yeah, that's not. Sup, Russell? Let's not put an anacrusis on there. Let's do this. Yeah, so if I go like this, just get the speed right. 2, 3, 4, 1. not going to work at all because he pushes and pulls. He really speeds up in places. But let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Speeds up too much. So, yes, Russell, been good, you know, constantly trying to get better. Now I'm going to use this this is kind of like what I do in study club streams, to be honest. Thank you very much, Fish. Thank you very much. I love doing these streams. So, yeah, I want to try and take something from this now. I want to learn something from this. So, I was playing that blues earlier, right? Two bars on the B flat, sorry. If we can resolve that, so he plays. So if I can phrase like that, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4. That kind of works. I like that. 3, 4. That's really cool. I kind of like both aspects of this. I like what Josh does, where he plays that. He plays. That's kind of cool. But I also like the idea of being able to play like C minor. Sorry. That really nice. That's really cool. That's really cool. I like that. C minor. Uh, That's a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. I like that a lot. And you know what happens when I find something that I like a lot, don't you? Here comes a YouTube video. Really enjoy that. Black Metal Follower 666 official. It's official. I'd hate for the unofficial one to be on here. Do you prefer to record electric guitar through amp software on my computer or a real amp with a microphone? I record most of the guitars that I'm recording nowadays. I'm using my Kemper profiling amp. I have a Kemper profiler here in my rack. I have I use that for most things. I have some plugins that I use occasionally for guitar, but to be honest, the Kemper, it does the trick. I have the Laney. I don't put a microphone in front of the Laney. I use the 2 Notes Audio Engineering, the load box 2 Notes Torpedo Live. I'll use that as a load box and then put a cab sim in it occasionally. I got that so I could use my Rev. I've got a Rev amplifier coming. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out. I'm sure it'll be great because, you know, made by Rev, they make pretty good amps. So yes. So hopefully you guys are getting a gist of, you know, what transcribing like this is all about. It's not just a case of learning, like, transcribe. Of course, this is my job. I do transcribe music for a living for people, but a huge part of why I'm doing this is I hear things that I like and I want to understand them. So I've transcribed it, I've worked it out, and to be honest, the transcription side of things isn't even important. I don't need to save it. I will, but you know, the detail in this transcription is not what matters to me. What really matters to me is when I listened to this for the first time and I heard as soon as I heard that, I immediately went, that's really cool, I need to know what that is. Now, I've not just transcribed it, but I've worked it out. Cool, it's a C minor, which is a 2 chord we would expect in certain adaptations of a blues. It's totally acceptable to play a 2 chord in, what's that, bar 10 of a blues? Bar 9 of a blues? bar 9 of a blues. Totally acceptable to play a 2 chord there. We would expect it to then go to the 5 chord, but E flat minor, the 4 chord minor, that's a kind of reasonable substitution that you can play in place of a 5 chord. And actually I did a video on this as a concept recently. I did a video on the backdoor resolution, backdoor 2/5 progression. So really, if I think about this, still got my camera mount on there. Really, if I think about this, it should work as a, we go C minor, then it's really like E flat. Yeah. So it ties in nicely with that idea. Ties in nicely with that idea of it being 4 chord minor and that leading in with the backdoor progression, but not having to go to that flat 7, and instead just staying on that 4 minor, E flat minor, and resolving that to E flat. Really nice, and makes sense when you think about it, because the E flat, which is the root of the minor chord, root of the 4 chord that you're playing on, you can just shift that down a semitone. Voice leads really nicely to the 3rd of the chord, as we hear here. Here. So there we go. Cool. Let me read some more comments. You and your sock puppet accounts. So Russell, do I remember the first song that I ever tried to play completely by ear? Completely by ear. Do you mean like just, putting on a song and trying to work it out, or do you mean the first song that I tried to transcribe, tried to write it down? Because I'm not sure the first song that I tried to work out by ear. I will have tried and failed many times when I was younger, many times, I'm sure. But in terms of what the first thing I tried to transcribe, tried to write down, it would have been Mesmer. I think the track's called Mesmer by the band Pinkley Smooth, which is one of Sinister Gates' side project, like a pre-Avenged Sevenfold thing. And I kind of like the vibe that they had going on. It was really kind of gothic meets carnival jazz, goblin jazz, if you like. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I used to hear it and think to myself, this is what would happen if... like Labyrinth, the David Bowie film Labyrinth. If all of the goblins in that decided to start a band, it would probably sound something like this. So, yeah, I transcribed that. Didn't go very well, I'll be honest. Didn't go very well at all. I had no idea what I was doing. Then I transcribed some Linear Sphere. Linear Sphere is a band, Martin Goulding's band. Also, the first album that I was initially transcribing, Charlie Griffiths was in the band at that point as well, who now is well known for his Haken work, works with the band Haken. But Martin Goulding went on to be one of my teachers. Anyway, I transcribed some of Martin's solos on that because I like his playing style and I wanted to get some of that down. Then, the thing that really stands out is doing the Guthrie Govan, the Erotic Cakes album. I transcribed all of that. And that was a good use of my time, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of the first song that I ever worked out, I do it all the time when I was a kid, and I just had no concept of how to do it. And it's a weird. I was going to say it's weird. It's not weird at all. It makes total sense when you think about it. In order to transcribe something, you have to have a basic understanding of the way words work together. I'll give you a perfect example. Today I tripped over and I banged my knee. I tripped over and I banged my knee. That thing on your leg, at the joint. Right, you know how to spell that. K-N-E-E. It's not N-E. It's K-N-E-E. And I know that because I've been exposed to it, because I've heard it and I've seen it, so I understand it. When I was younger and I was trying to work things out by ear, all I actually knew was power chords. I knew, like, I played in drop D a lot, so I could do that. So anytime I would hear songs that had richer chord sounds in them, I'd have no idea how they were doing them. No idea at all. And I remember, you know, like learning some Disturbed songs for the first time and seeing Dan Donegan do the bar chord with the power chord, and then he'd add the second finger down to make like an add 9 chord, and he'd go between those. And I loved that. The moment I saw that, it was like, cool, this is really cool. I've heard people do this, but I had no idea how to do it myself. And then when I exposed myself to it enough, when I would hear that on records, I would go, I know what that is. Cool, not a problem. So before that, when I was trying to work things out and had no idea what was going on, it was just really hard work. So although I might have tried to work things out, nothing will have come of it. I never would have actually managed to achieve those things. I actually remember being sat in my girlfriend at the time's house, mentioned that girlfriend earlier in the stream actually, and I remember there was a Nickelback song on TV, and I can't remember which one it was. It could just be How You Remind Me, to be honest. And of course, I enjoyed it, and he said, "Oh, that's easy. I can play that." And he picked up his guitar with PRS. What PRS would it have been? Custom 22, Custom 22 or something like that. And he just worked it out on the spot. He just worked out how to play it. Now, looking back, I fully understand how he was able to do that so quickly. He knew some bar chords, and he could just move them to the right bass notes and then work out whether the chord should be major or minor. And he picked it up quite quickly and easily. But I was blown away by it, absolutely blown away by it. How did you do that, David? I would ask. I have no concept of how you've been able to do that. How did you just know what he was playing there? Again, it's that same thing, right? If you don't know major and minor chords, you're not going to stumble across them while trying to work the song out. It's really helpful if you know what those chords, if when you hear them, you have a rough idea of how to play something like that. You have an association between what it sounds like, and yeah. So there you go. Can't remember the first thing I actually worked out. Can remember the first things that I transcribed because they went reasonably well, but working things out, dreadful at it. Mellow Jim says, I ran a marathon a while ago, and on the gear page I gave the winner who guessed closest to my score some VPICs. That's awesome of you. Vinny had no idea I was doing that and offered to help out. Yeah, Vinny is absolutely the man. He really is. I sort of helped them out with their social media channel page thing, and I wanted to do a giveaway to get some action going on there. So I just set up a giveaway, and I was 100% adamant, insisting on paying for them myself. No. I should jump in there and say that David wasn't the good guitar player. David was her dad. I didn't get cucked by her dad. That would be really, really awkward. That'd be weird, and I would have had a lucky escape. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, I was absolutely insistent on paying for these picks as part of the giveaway. And Vinny just wouldn't have any of it. No. Don't be silly. I'll send them out. And he did send them out, and then I just PayPal'd him the money because I don't like to be told no. So I love Vinny, and it's really good of you, really generous of you to do that. I remember the gear page, like I've posted on there from time to time over the years. I hate forums though, not because I hate forums, but because I hate people that are on forums. People get so tribalist over forums. You don't belong here, you're an outsider. And they make new people feel incredibly unwelcome. I had some really negative experiences with the gear page, the fretboard.co.uk, which is like a music radar forum. I posted on there a reasonable amount. I mean, I'm a lurker more so than a poster. I don't even really post on my own Facebook page unless I'm promoting something, you know. So I would spend time reading posts on there, but I didn't respond so much. And then somebody said, well, you should respond to people and help people out. So I spent a little bit of time helping people out and giving advice and helping with the odd little bit of transcribing here and there for people. Then I thought, you know what, well, forums are dying, so what I'll do is I will start making videos. I'll make video responses for people. If someone has a question about something and I can make a video, I'll do that and I'll help them out that way. So I would do that, and I called it the Fretboard Diaries. And in the video, I would always say, this is me responding to a video over on the fretboard.co.uk. You guys should go over and check the forum out. So I'm talking to my YouTube channel there. And you guys on the fretboard that are watching this, come and hang out on my YouTube page. So I see on the one hand how that absolutely was me sort of self-promoting, sending people to my YouTube page, but it was, yeah, it's supposed to be a back and forth thing, getting a community going across both of them, and trying to get a forum, which, you know, forums are dying, trying to get some more active users on that forum. And yeah, you know, some people were really appreciative of what I'd done. But then every now and again I'd make a post and like one of the old guys from the forum would just be like, "Oh look, Levi's back to sell his wares again." And I'm like, are you actually fucking joking? Are you being serious right now? Are you trying to give me shit for legitimately trying to help people? The goal here is to help people. I have helped people on this forum for years. Alright, I might not post as often as you do, Mr. fucking 5,000 posts. I might only have 200 posts. Maybe even less than that, 100 posts. But if you scroll through my post history, almost every single post has actively been me trying to engage with someone and help them with something. But no, that's not good enough for you, is it? Because I don't belong here. I'm an outsider, and outsiders don't belong on your precious forum where you're the fucking gatekeeper, do they? So I said, I blew up at the guy. I said, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I won't ever post here again. And when people are looking for help and they're getting bad advice from people, you can rest easy in the knowledge that I would be here helping them out if it wasn't for you and your terrible attitude. I just wanted to help people. That's why I'm doing this live stream right now. Guys, I'm sitting here for hours. Hours. It's 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, right? I could be in bed right now. I could be playing video games. I could be doing something. This stream doesn't make me money. Doesn't make me money at all. It's costing me less money now because I got these new lights today, new light bulbs, LED bulbs, and they're not warm in the slightest, which is nice. I don't feel like I'm baking. Wonderful. Really enjoying that. All right, I've had a couple of super chats, but in terms of, you know, the amount of time that goes into a live stream like this, like, it doesn't make money. I do this because I love giving back to the people that watch my content. I love giving back and engaging with people. So, yeah, fortunately, I never had experiences like that on the gear page. Nobody was ever like abusive for not being a regular. But having said that, it's probably because I don't post there much, and I'd be way too scared to actually post on there regularly because people would just be like, "Oh look, here's a new guy. He's coming in to make his stamp. He's coming in to get a fan base." Fuck off. Fuck off.
Leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. Base.
Yeah, so there you go. There's my rant about forums. Forums do... Well, the thing is, forums chase away knowledgeable people for one simple reason. If you're a forum moderator, you have that feeling of importance, that feeling of power, that feeling of relevance, that misplaced feeling that other people on the forum look up to you. So if somebody else comes in and they know a bit more than you, or they're able to help people more than you, or even, you know, they appear like a nice guy and you don't get to appear like the nicest, most helpful guy, they don't like that. They just don't like it. There's that threat of, oh no, he's taking my thunder away. Disgusting. I've posted once or twice on the Troy Grady forum, herped up. Anyone that knows, you know, my videos and my teaching style will know, though, that I love Troy. I love Troy Grady. I love the work he does. I love watching the content he does. But in terms of implementing it in my own practice, it's not something that interests me. Technique doesn't interest me in my own playing. It interests me from a learning perspective. But it's more I'm interested in how the body works, not how the body works and how can I get my body to do those same things. I like exploiting things that I'm good at, and yeah. So there have been some posts about me on the Troy Grady forum, so, you know, I've swung by for those. Troy has mentioned that because obviously I've worked with Troy a lot over the years. Love Troy. He's, you know, one of the pioneers of modern guitar education, so love Troy, yep. Haven't gone on many forums because you're usually pretty shy. Well, the beauty of a forum is you can be anyone you want to be, unless you want to be helpful and a nice guy, in which case you're not welcome. I've not checked out the Helix forum. Yeah, Russell, I love the live streaming thing, and I hope forums like that do die, because when they do, it'll be because of the people that were on them. Yeah, so Bob Ezrin popped up once in a while, answered a few questions. Yeah, and the gear page is good for that, actually. You get a few notable famous people on there. So, yeah. Lees. You're not a poster either, though. Oh, okay, so the Helix Forum, yeah. So, how much are my lessons, Levi? I charge £30 for Skype lessons. That's a la carte, have me as and when you want. No commitment, have one lesson, have two lessons, have one every 6 months, I don't mind. Alternatively, you can check me out on Patreon. Ta-da! And at that $50 tier, you get a monthly private lesson with me, along with access to my monthly study club stream, which is kind of like the stream we're doing today. It's a couple of hours, and I look at a book. I take a book and I read the book, and I talk about the exercises of the book, and I show you how I take instructional material and develop it into my own practice routines, as you kind of see me doing with this Josh Smith thing. To help you kind of make your practice sessions a little bit more efficient. So you get Study Club, you also get listed as credits in my video, as you can see now, plus access to all of the downloads that I do on Patreon. So, you know, these tabs that I'm working on tonight, they'll go up for download, and you'll get those. That's the transcription challenge tier. So two options. You can either book lessons for £30, or you can be on that $50 tier on Patreon. How's that for value, right? Also, while I'm at it, guys, someone, send me a message on Facebook. Send me a message somewhere. Email me. What's that in dollars? £30 in dollars is probably about 40. Yes, it's $39.60. So you can either pay $40 as and when, or you can go for the Patreon thing and get all the other stuff. Yeah. So there are your options. Yeah, done it now, Jim. Thanks, Richard. Thanks. And is it DeLees? Or is it like David Lees? I don't know how to pronounce that name, DeLees. But thank you, yes. I try really hard. It's like obviously it's like a super niche thing, a transcription skill. But that's the point. Like I've got my niche and I wanna exploit it. Well, this is the other thing, Herped Up, who says it's 20 after Brexit. That's, in theory, I'm not looking forward to Brexit, but a lot of my revenue comes from America. So in theory, when the pound crashes significantly, I still quote my prices in pounds, and then I get paid the equivalent in dollars. So hopefully I should be making more money when Brexit happens. Is that how that works? Hopefully. We'll see though. Or it will work the other way. It will work this way. I will still get the same amount of pounds, but it will be less dollars. So clients would be more inclined to place orders because they're in their money paying less, even though I'm earning the same amount. At least that's how I think about it. So, but there you go. Why did I move to Scotland? I don't mind answering non-guitar related questions. I do those. This time it's personal videos on YouTube that I enjoy doing those, where I talk about things that are not guitar. Darren Lees. Okay, DeLees. Cool. Darren Lees. Why did I move to Scotland? I had a nasty breakup with someone in London, and I knew that staying in London was going to result in me sort of trying to make that relationship work. So I felt that the best thing to do would be to have a completely clean break from that. Also, living in London is it's really expensive, and we were both getting by living together because we had sort of two incomes coming into the house. And then when I broke up with her, it became more like, well, now I'm going to need to get my own place and money's going to be even tighter. And I already worked so many hours in order to make ends meet. It's just crazy. London can throttle you in that respect. So I decided that I would move somewhere else. I would, have a clean, fresh start. And that was when I started writing the Hellcat Molly album, Out of the Ashes. I would recommend you all go and listen to that. It's on Bandcamp. There's a link below. Bandcamp, yeah, Bandcamp. You can stream it there. It's also on Spotify and the likes. Yeah, so check that stuff out. Songs like Leaving London, very much about what I was going through at the time. A lot of those songs, they're all very much written about what was happening in my life. So it's storytelling, telling people what I was going through. Therapy, if you like. So Scotland's a lot cheaper. It's beautiful. The people here are lovely. The people here are friendly. I love the people here. Yeah. In London, I was struggling to make ends meet month on month, even though I was working full time for Lick Library, along with all of my transcribing work and teaching and stuff. Up here, the Lick Library work kind of faded away. So I don't really do that, and I don't really have any what you'd call full-time stuff anymore. I've got Patreon, and I've got my teaching and transcribing, and I work for various like freelance stuff for a lot of people, transcribing stuff, and there's obviously book revenue, all little bits here and there. All money comes in little bits. But since moving up here, I've been able to buy a house. So that's you. There's your answer. You move to Scotland because you can afford to live up here. So and Scotland is the best. I love Scotland. Have I transcribed something that's heavy metal? I mean, a lot. Yeah, I grew up playing metal. Like, look behind me, you can see an 8-string guitar, beautiful Miner's 6-string guitar there. There's a Miner's 7-string there. All right, it's a Telecaster there, but then over there I've got another Miner's in drop C with Evertune on it. Very much metal, lots of metal. The market will crash for a day or two. What a mess. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Whose Neds are a bigger nuisance? I live in a nice area here, so I don't have to deal with that. Did I enjoy working at Lick Library? Yeah, I mean, there are ups and downs working for Lick Library. It's just a really weird one, the Lick Library job. I was there for like 5 years, doing a lot of transcribing, of course, but also like product creation. And I don't just mean my products, but like helping to put other products together, commissioning products, and just generally, I wouldn't say management, because of course it wasn't management, but I was plugged in that area. I was brought in essentially to try and help the business grow. So in that respect, my time there was a failure, absolute failure, because it didn't grow the way it should have. I could absolutely hold my hands up and take responsibility for that, but you know what? I don't take responsibility for that, because the aspects of working there that I hated were not being listened to. Having great ideas and just not being listened to from people that were older and I'm going to say feel like they knew better, and ultimately they're the business owners, so yeah, cool. But when I initially came in, it was like, here's a list of things that can be improved here. Why are these not improved? And when I was explaining to them, look, you release products and you don't release any tabs with any of it. There's just no tab. And you could get away with that 15 years ago, but now it's expected. All of your competition provide tabs because that's what people expect. It's what brings you up to par. You're releasing subpar products. Everything should be released with tab. Everything. We should be going back through the old stuff and re-releasing it with tab. We should be releasing updated versions, higher quality products. We should be bringing in younger players. You should be working more with guys like Jack Gardiner and George Marius and these young guys that are going to be working with us for a long time. So all of that stuff, that was immensely frustrating. Desperately banging my head against a wall, like trying to get things to go in the correct direction. But they're doing fine, so they didn't need me, and I enjoyed my time there, and I learned a lot. I certainly learned a lot, put it that way. There were some great times, and there were some great people there. I miss a lot of the people that I used to work with every day. So I'm proud of what I achieved there, though. I released like 12 instructional DVDs, and they still sell, so that's cool. Off to Oxford on a school trip next Wednesday. Unfortunately, this means, funnily enough, my point of vaccination. You'll miss. You did screw up that sentence, yeah. Is Lick Library a creation of Stuart Bull, or was he just a popular contributor there? I could never work that out. Stuart is co-owner of Lick Library. Stuart Bull and Kim Waller own that company. And of course they do Guitar Interactive magazine, which I was very active in. That was just as much a nightmare for different reasons, similar reasons but different reasons. An editor that had a similar attitude, that kind of I know best. I know best, I know best, I know best. And I'm like, look, you're creating a modern product, a digital magazine, and you're pitching it at people that have no idea what a digital anything is. If I look... Let's look back through that. So, issue 63. Wow, time flies. So when I look back through these, right, I'm just going to reel off the guys that were on the covers. Joe Satriani, Zakk Wylde, Joe Bonamassa, John Petrucci. Then you have Michelangelo Battio and Steve Howe. It's a harder push, that one. Then Johnny Marr on the cover. Maybe you could get that one. Michael Schenker, sure. Steve Morse, Eddie Van Halen. It all feels very early 90s guitar magazine, right? Slash, Steve Vai, Guthrie Govan, Richie Kotzen. To be fair, Richie Kotzen, Guthrie Govan, Steve Vai, I think that's a lot of your audience. Yeah, fair enough. Billy Gibbons. Then I remember the arguments that came up around Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Robin Trower, who was going to go on the cover, and they just did a split cover. We did Bumblefoot, Greg Howe. And then, so this one absolutely killed me, right? Issue 19, there's two people on the cover, one in big and one really small, hidden away at the background. Neil Schon of Journey, he's big. Now, of course, Neil Schon is an icon of guitar, right? But are Neil Schon's fans reading this magazine? And are we going to be able to get Neil Schon's fans to read this magazine? And even if we can, are they going to continue reading it when we're going to go back to Greg Howe on the next cover? Or should we put the other guy who's hidden away in the background front and centre, Tosin Abassi? Now, Tosin's not my cup of tea. I don't really like Animals as leaders, but he's a modern guitar megastar. He's got an extremely bright future. Put him on the cover. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Orianthi, Mark Tremonti, Dweezil Zappa and Steve Vai, Gary Moore, Gus G. Now we're getting to around the period when I sort of stepped away, maybe? Oh no, I'm still here for this. Mark Tremonti, Dweezil Zappa, Gary Moore, Gus G, because I did the Gus G interview. Jeff Loomis and Keith Merrow. That's a good cover. It's good modern guys. John Petrucci again. Then there's an issue of George Lynch and Hank Marvin on the cover. I'm not seeing it. Nuno Bettencourt. There's a monstrosity. Yeah. Anthrax and Martin Barr. Anyone know who Martin Barr is? Does he have any living fans? Paul Kossoff, Zakk Wylde again, Bumblefoot again, Robin Ford, Joe Bonamassa, Joe Satriani, Albert Lee, Paul Gilbert, John Five, Brian May, Warren Haynes, Dave Mustaine, Steve Vai, Robin Trower. This was right around when I left, right? I remember now, because I was so mortified that they put Mick Ralphs on the cover of issue 45. Mick Ralphs. I still don't know who Mick Ralphs is. Still don't know. And we put him on the cover of a magazine. And when I look in this issue, alright, maybe there's nothing huge that jumps out at me. But yeah, Mick Ralphs. Put him on the cover. Yeah, sure. John Gomm, good shout. Dave Gilmour. Finally, Tosin Abassi gets a cover. Andy Timmons, John Petrucci again. Wolf Hoffman. Malmsteen. Oh yeah. Black Country Communion. Kirk Hammett. Steve Morse. Zakk Wylde. Mark Tremonti. Sinister Gates. Lizzie Hale. Cool. Hendrix, Jason Becker, and then finally, issue 62, doesn't have a face on the cover. It's got guitars and gear. And then the latest one has Def Leppard on the cover. So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Anyway, let me finish reading these comments. Yeah, Mike Caswell. Yeah, good memories of Mike. Really mortified to see what happened there with Mike. There was a whole shitty situation that went down with that, where I got a bollocking over Mike Caswell dying. Yeah. Have I dabbled in Conical? Yep, I brought that up in a lesson with a student just yesterday. What were we doing? Transcribing. I was doing a septuplet and then triplets. Group of 7, group of 6. And rather than going 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 1 2 3 takadimi takata 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 takadimi takata 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 takadimi takata 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 takadimi takata 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 ta. I found that a much easier way to count it. So yep, dabbled in that, read my materials, watched my videos. Guthrie Govan should have done YouTube. Bad Company, feel like making love. Yeah, sure, Bad Company, but Mick Ralph's cover of a magazine in 2018. You know, do Mick Ralph's fans read digital magazines? Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, so as you can see on screen, my books, so please do head on over to Amazon and get some of those. And if not, that of course is absolutely fine, but what I would suggest is send me a message. You can get a copy of Slide Guitar Soloing Techniques. I've got a bunch of those. I would like to get those shifted. Cool. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty much done with transcribing. I'm exhausted. It's late, but so I'm just gonna sit and chat shit with you guys for a while. I should play some Magic, shouldn't I? Just addicted. Josh Smith commented. Josh Smith. Finally, he can steal some Kirk Fletcher licks. Cool. Someone commenting in Italian on one of my videos. No idea what you're saying there, pal. Sorry. I'm not going to be finding out either. So, yeah. Transcription. Done. I learnt what I wanted to learn from it, right? I'll probably finish it tomorrow, and it'll go up for download for my supporters on Patreon. So if you want it, you know how to get it. Get those comments back. The comments. Thank you very much for picking up my country guitar compilation. It is great. I'm proud of that. And if you have bought that, please do leave it a review on Amazon. It's a really big help to get reviews for these products on Amazon. I've sold, I think, maybe 4,000 books in the last year, which is a lot. It's a huge amount. I'm extremely proud of that, of course. But I maybe have less than 100 reviews. Less than 100. Because people don't tend to write reviews unless they hate something. Unless they want to, kick up a fuss. They don't write reviews. So, but it is a big help. It really helps with the ranking of search results. So, yeah. What am I working on playing-wise at the minute? That is a good question. Don't even know what style I'm working on, man. I mean, I'm not really practicing much these days because I'm just working so much at the moment, to be honest. When I do pick up the guitar, I'm constantly looking for slicker ways to outline chord progressions. I'm constantly looking to do that. This Josh Smith thing, I can outline a minor chord, no problem, right? So it's about spending time getting good at outlining the 4-chord minor resolving to the 1. And I'll spend a ton of time just practicing that, going round and round, setting up a loop and just really trying to slickly get between one chord and the next. That's what I really enjoy that. Your RE teacher had a presentation about Jordan Peterson. It was, I can only imagine. Was it full of hate or anything happening in Gmail? Let's have a look. Nothing happening on Gmail. What's this? Ah. So it's honestly, it's just the most warming feeling in the world when you see somebody gets a copy of your book and that they're excited about it. Let's have a look. Elio. At Lick Library, were you under pressure to promote companies' gear by putting a positive spin on stuff? So in the past, I have been offered deals with companies to use their stuff on Lick Library stuff. Free guitars. Yeah, free guitars. And I was sent a guitar by a company. I don't need to name names, but yeah, essentially turned down a free guitar endorsement because no thank you, I play Vigier. This is what I like. This is my guitar. I love it. It's what I want to play. And I remember being told occasionally, like, oh, we've got this guitar in from Yamaha. We'd like you to play this. Like the boss would be like, we want you to play this in your next video. And I'd be like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So stuff like that. But actually, if you actually read my Patreon page, I don't think many people do that. I'll read it now for you. All right, hello one and all. If you've taken a step to click on a link to this page, it's fair to say that I already like you quite a bit. But as you're not a captive audience yet, why don't I tell you who I am and why I'm doing this? 9 years ago, I quit working for the man. Probably wasn't the most calculated move. Living in London, it was essentially suicide. But somehow over the last 9 years, I've managed to do all right for myself. I've completed over 1,000 music and guitar transcriptions for various websites and publications, taught hundreds of students, and held an amazing position at Lick Library and Guitar Interactive, which has seen me release DVDs, meet my childhood heroes, and travel the world, and now have multiple best-selling books released for fundamental changes. So what's changed? And I put, well, in all honesty, nothing. I still love all of these people that I work for, and will continue to do so for as long as they'll have me. However, in recent months, I've come to wonder if there's more of myself that I can put out there. Not what someone else wants me to be, but who I am. And I think that the answer is yes. I absolutely live for education and entertainment, but at the same time, my sense of humour doesn't always sit well with clients or advertisers. While I completely understand this, I don't ever want to find myself in a position where I'm censoring what I think or feel to secure a paycheck. This hasn't happened, and I won't ever let it happen, but I have been in meetings where I have been told, you can't post that on Facebook. They might want to advertise with us one day. I don't ever want to have to bend that knee. I make content for you. I owe you guys the truth. I want to be here to tell you what I think and expose scumbags, devote my time to you, but also feed my family. So to Patreon we go. I'm a huge fan of Patreon as a platform. It's a direct way for me to support and direct way for me to connect with you, my friends, fans, and students. I've seen incredible success come to many people who I follow, like Jim Sterling, Dick Masterson, among others. Being here, able to make the content that you want and not hoping that someone else will pay me to is the dream, and it'll allow me to do even more of it. So the focus with Patreon was to remain independent, right? I want to be independent. I want to be able to get gear that I want to get, to check it out, and honestly tell you guys what I think of said gear. When you work for magazines who place adverts in the magazine, you simply cannot review something and say it's garbage. You're not allowed to do it. They won't let the editors will not let you do it. If you don't like something, you don't like a product, you say that it's garbage, they'll just give it to someone else to review until they get what they want. And I hate it. I always hated it. It always felt so false. We worked on a 5-star rating scheme, and nothing got a 5. The top gear would get a 5, right? Nothing ever got a 3, ever. Why would you give something a 3? That basically means it's shit and needs to go in the bin. So when I say a 5-point scale, what it really was either a 3.5, which was reserved for the worst shit. It was a 4, which was average, or it was a 4.5, which is, this is really good. On very rare occasions, someone would fight and insist that something got a 5, right? But yeah, the amount of times that I would see people come in for reviews and they'd be like, yeah, that was amazing, love that piece of gear, gave that a 5. Wasn't so crazy on that one, gave that one a 3.5. And then I would look at the magazine when it come out, and I'd talk to the editor, and he'd be like, well, I pulled the 5 down to a 4.5, and I pushed that 3.5 up to a 4. And it's just fake. It's fake. And yeah, I don't want that. I like to, if someone sends me something, they know that if I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. And I think that's really important, because when I tell you guys see this thing that I've got, I don't like it. I can give you examples. Let me think. Great example. V-Picks. I love V-Picks. I've played V-Picks for many years, right? See this pick? See this pick? Shredder. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Stupid. Don't know why they make it. Throw it in the bin. Might be alright for you, but I don't like it. That's genuinely, I don't like that pick. I'm okay saying that. What else? I'm looking around for things that I have that I don't really like. I don't tend to keep things that I don't like, I guess is the important thing. I was sent the Axe Cam mount, right? And I'm going to do a video review about it. I'm going to talk about it. But I've had emails back and forth with them and told them what I don't like about it. And I'll tell you all those things in the video. I don't like how expensive it is. I think it's too expensive. And I can't give it a glowing review because of how expensive it is. That's really important. Some guys, like I could name names that like review guitars, and they get paid whatever 500 euros to review a guitar, and their terms are that they get to keep the guitar. And it's like, look, if you're being paid 500 euros to review this guitar and you get to keep it, and you've got a reputation for saying something shit when you think it's shit, guess what? Those 500 euro reviews don't come in. Why is someone willing to pay you 500 euros for a review? Is it because you have a large audience, and when you tell them to buy things that they go and buy them? Yeah, okay, so you're literally an influencer. Cool, I get it, I understand. But if you're going to influence people, I'm not interested in influencing you. I'm interested in telling you what I like and what I don't like. So, yeah, there you go. Always be honest with people. Treat your audience with respect. You guys respect me. You guys give me the respect of watching my videos, and the least I can do is treat you with a similar level of respect. So, yeah, there you go. Rant over. I'll read these last comments and then I'm going to head off. Hey Levi, I just wanted to say thanks for all the great content. Really appreciate it. Great stuff. You are very welcome, Catalyst Collide. Thank you for watching. Do I have a Les Paul, Levi? Never seen me play one. I have a Les Paul Music City Junior. It's not really a Les Paul. It's like a Les Paul Junior. I don't like Les Pauls. I don't like arch top guitars. Hi, I'm Levi Clay, and I endorse Gibson Robo Tuners. Yeah. That's when you'll know I've sold out, right? When I've fully sold out. And I mentioned it earlier in the stream, like a company approached me and wanted to give me a signature pick. They wanted to lure me away from V-Picks. They wanted to put my name on a pick and then encourage me to sell it to people, because people would buy something if I said, this is my thing, please buy it. So it would make the company money, but I don't want to endorse. I wasn't even interested in seeing, like, having them make it for me and then me see if I liked it. I wasn't willing to tell people to go and buy a $12 pick or whatever, because I have a pick that I love. I have a pick that I play and I love. I use these medium pointed, V-Picks medium pointed. They're like $3, which may sound expensive, but there's 3 points on it, so you get 3 picks for the money. I've used these for years and years, and like that's not like, people say stuff like that and they don't mean it. Go and watch my YouTube videos, going back to the first video I uploaded, which was a Hellcat Molly single, and in the guitar solo in that, it's up close on my hand, you can see I'm literally playing one of these. I've used these picks for years and years. I love them, so I'll actually endorse that as a product. Don't need money to do that, right? John Petrucci getting talked about on a guitar page. Am I a political guy? No, not really. I have, living in Scotland, like, people up here tend to be a lot more political than I noticed young people were in London. I don't see myself as hugely interested in that. Unfortunately, I have friends that get lambasted as being far right, and like, these are people I know. They're just not that. Well, I was going to say, not that there's anything wrong with being far right, not that there's anything wrong with being politically on the right. I don't really put myself in that camp, in the camp of being interested in that. If you really, really, really wanted to analyse how I fall on a political spectrum, I've done like the political spectrum test. I'm centre left, but I don't think something like that is descriptive enough. I would say that I am extremely socially liberal, maybe even to the point of being an extremist in that respect. libertarian. Like, I don't think that the government should play any role whatsoever in how you choose to live your life. If you want to be gay, or you want to live your life as a different gender, or whatever, I don't care. As long as you are leading the life that you want to lead, fantastic. I'm extremely supportive of that. That line stops when the way you want to lead your life is interrupting or impeding my ability to lead my life the way that I want to lead my life. And that's a two-way street, right? I can't say that, like, you doing what you're doing gets in the way of what I'm doing, and therefore you're not allowed to do that, because then I'm impinging on your right. Like, you know, treat everyone that you meet with love and respect. So extremely socially liberal, but I would say economically I'm considerably more conservative. I'm definitely an economic conservative. Let's go with that. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Makes it very difficult to vote for a political party, to be completely honest with you. You've never seen a 3-picked guitar pick. JBP. Any more vids planned where you take down some bullshit like crooked guitar educators? So Roth Ripper, it's a good question. Everyone that I've ever done that to, I've never gone looking for them. I never, ever, ever look for those things. They just come to me. Viewers, friends, contacts. Like, they'll send me a video and go, "Can you believe this guy? What a scumbag." And I'll watch it, and if it gets me suitably annoyed, then I'd often turn on my camera and do a rage time video about it. So I don't go looking for that stuff. If it presents itself to me, I will look at it, and if it riles me up enough, I will say something, I'll do something about it. Having said that, I'm considerably less angry than I was 5 years ago, so it takes a little bit more to rile me up now. But yeah, if it comes up, I'll absolutely do it. What makes a good pick for me? What I like in a pick is thickness. My medium pointed is 2.75 mil. Very thick pick. I love a thick pick. When I hold a pick, I like to drop it. I've got a microphone for this, look. That's a thin pick. That's a thick pick. Thin pick, thick pick. I think you can hear the differences between those two things. And when you play with a thin pick, to me it's like writing with a pen that's made out of rubber. It bends as you're writing with it, and I don't want that. I want an efficient transfer of energy into the string, kind of like gypsy jazz players do. So yeah, I like that. I like a sharp pick, but not too sharp. I like having some roundness on the back of the pick. My medium pointed doesn't have that, but I have other picks, you know. I use the right pick for the job. I think it's crazy when people are like, "Oh, I just use this one pick." What do you mean? Like, seriously, what do you mean? Go and talk to a painter and say, "What's your favourite brush?" They all do different things, right? So, they have different effects. So if I need a rounder tone, I'll dig into my picks, and I might pick up something like this Euro, which has a rounder back on it. I like the medium rounded. I've been playing with the medium round quite a lot, so much so that they might have all fallen out of I might have used them all. So we're like, there we go. So there's a medium pointed. It's got those pointy bits on it. The medium round has these rounder edges on them. And, you know, just dramatic difference in tone. So if I'm playing like a slower blues thing, I prefer that. An ASMR pick dropping video, yeah. Yeah. Hello, Blaze Nelson. How's it going, buddy? What's up, buddy? Would I ever consider doing a Guitar Souls live stream? Yeah. I would absolutely be up for doing it. The only thing that stands in the way of it is, well, Mike's schedule. He's a pain in the arse. Love him to bits, but he's fucking useless. I'm not going to say unorganised. That's unfair for me to call him useless. He has a life. He has a life, right? He has a job, and he has responsibilities like girlfriend, and there's a kid, and he has a band like Party Cannon. Like he's busy. He's a busy guy, so it's hard to get him to commit to things, which is why we very rarely do a regular show. But yeah, I'd really be up for that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. The only thing I need to do is work out a way to run dual mics on a stream. Currently, I can only think of how to run one mic. But yeah. Takes a little bit. Well, yeah, rolled up over small cables. True. But that's because in that situation, like, I'd been fucked over. I get rolled up. Like, I don't have many followers on Twitter, but if you go and check my Twitter game, most of it is shouting at companies when I get raging about stuff and being let down, being treated like an idiot. I hate it. I get so angry. Ghost fixed. I've noticed for me, you're a very light pick kind of person when you play guitar, light and small ones. Fair enough. Can't argue. That's exactly the important thing, right? And it's kind of like when I've argued with like the Hess crowd before. It's not about telling other people that what they do is wrong and that there's a better way to do what they want to do. Never about that. It's just about telling people what you like. This is what I like. You might not like it. If you've not tried it, give it a go. But if you find it's not for you, cool. You do you. So yeah, like I pull out a thin pick if I ever have to do like strumming. If I'm recording strumming, a thinner pick always sounds better. Always sounds better. So yeah, you like those pointed V picks? Yeah, the medium point is just the best. I love it. Greetings from New York City, my favourite city in the world. I love New York. I'm not going there this year, and it breaks my heart. I would love to go and see my friends in New York. Yeah. The link again for the software, please. See if I've got it saved still. I do. There we go. Boom. Look at that. So you recently printed out a bunch of notepaper, which I guess is still okay to have around. Started transcribing, really. So let me jump in before you go and buy that. The ASMR video of me. That's funny. I need to do an edit myself. Someone suggested on the video where I tested out my lights and turned on the lights and like my face burnt up and I screamed. I need to do an edit of that, like with the explosion from Terminator where it like I just turned to dust. I think that'd be hilarious. Anyway, so to be clear, FC something on my screen. Cyprian. FC Cyprian. Transcribe isn't this. This isn't the thing that I'm writing stuff down in. That's Guitar Pro. Transcribe is only this. It's the thing with the video and the audio. So yeah. Thin picks are great for strumming. Yeah. Playing some Trials Fusion. Haven't been able to figure out what game to play lately on Xbox One X. Oh, don't get me started on gaming, man. Just don't get me started on gaming. I'm miserable about video games at the moment. I've got so many great games that I so desperately want to play, but I'm a completionist. So I find myself playing endless hours in games that I don't enjoy because I need to get the Platinum Trophy. I've still got maybe another 10 hours, probably a bit more, to put into Kingdom Hearts. And I'm not talking Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm talking Kingdom Hearts 1. And I don't even enjoy it. I don't like the game. But I can't walk away with only one trophy left to get. You know, I can't do it. So rather than playing the game that I want to be playing, which is going through Resident Evil 2 again, I've got to be doing Kingdom Hearts. Got to do it until it's done. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. So, yeah. When did I record yesterday's Guitar Souls? Yesterday. That went up today, right? I've recorded that yesterday with Mike. Recorded and edited. Before you bought Transcribe, you would have been useless with transcribing. Yeah, mostly learn licks on it though. Chords are harder. Chords take a long time, and it's the same as, you know, like I said earlier, knee, the word knee. You need to learn chords. You learn a bunch of chords. When you learn a new voicing, if you spend a bunch of time playing that voicing and in songs and experimenting with it and using it in improvisation, you'll hear it on a recording, you'll go, I know what that chord is. I know what that chord is. So, yeah. My new thing, Ghost Fixter, is I'm playing a lot of Magic, you know, the card game. Magic Arena as well, like online. But I'm going down to my local game shop on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'm playing cards with people, which is good. It's good fun. It's nice to interact with people, and I'm not saying that I'm enjoying that more than video games, but it's nice to do something where there's a person, where you're engaging with someone, having a conversation with a new person. I played games tonight against two people that I'd never met before, and I had a great time, and really fun conversations and stuff. And since going down to that shop, I've made a new group of friends, which is that's cool. And video games pulls you away from that. Outside of that, I'm board games and how get girl, please, I need to know. Peter, stop being Peter. There you go. That's the best tip I can give you, buddy. Yeah. Anyway, any more comments? Anything coming in? Because I'm going to head off soon. Let's go. It's been a lot of fun tonight, though, guys. I've enjoyed it. What was I Sorry, what was I going to check? Yeah. These people rock. These people are awesome. So thank you very much for your support, guys. And yeah, any new guys, if you would like to join me over on Patreon, please do consider it. Do I still have my Vigier? Absolutely. My red Vigier is so you see I have guitars hanging up behind me. I have wall hangers, all in my studio, but I have so many guitars that I have wall hangers throughout the rest of the house. So if you look in my living room, I have guitars going up the stairs. As you walk up the stairs, there's just guitars all the way up the stairs. And I hung my Vigier up there just purely because I've got this one, the Paisley, with the bender on it. Usually that's hanging in my living room because my wife likes how that looks in the living room. But since I've got that bender on there, I've been playing that a lot more. So I needed it in the studio. And I'm looking on the wall and I'm like, right, which one of these can I go and hang up in the living room? So I hung the Vigier up in the living room. Love that guitar. Love it. I have a weird relationship with that guitar. I know that sounds crazy. I've not explained why. I have a very weird relationship with that guitar because we've been through so much together. And I say we have been through so much together. It's not living, but it's an item that holds more than inanimate status in my mind. I bought that guitar in 2013, right when my career had sort of got to the point where I could justify buying a nice guitar. I spent years, almost 5 years, that guitar hung up in a shop, and I loved it, and I used to go in the shop and play it all the time. But no one bought it. It never got sold because it was in the wrong shop. It was in a shop that stocked, £100 Yamaha guitars, and then this £2,500 Vigier. Like, no one was going to buy that. People went into the shop to buy pianos. So yeah, I 5 years I wanted that guitar, and then when I was in a position where I could afford to buy a nice guitar, I went on their website to show my girlfriend at the time this guitar that I was thinking of getting, that Vigier, and I looked on their website and it was on sale. It was marked down from £2,500 to £999, and I phoned them immediately. I was in America at the time. I phoned them immediately. I was like, look, I fly back in 2 days. Put that guitar aside for me. I won't even go home. I'll get in a taxi from the airport and I will drive straight to the shop. And that's exactly what I did. I went to the shop and I picked that guitar up. And my career certainly wasn't at a point where I was well off. I wouldn't say I'm well off now, but it's a lot less hard, if that's a thing. So it's a lot easier now. My career is easier now. I don't stress so much now. Anyway, that guitar saw me through a lot of stress in my career. A lot of stress. Some rough times, hard times with that guitar. So now, moving country, my first album, my like playing around the world, we're going around the world and meeting people and playing that guitar, and moving country, writing the Hellcat album. It was my first instructional videos. Like, that guitar is just Long history with that guitar. So when I pick it up now, I don't want to hold it. I want to cuddle it. I hold it, and I really do. I hold it, and it's sentimental. It's the memories attached with that guitar. So that ruby red will never go anywhere. Love that guitar so much. Yeah, super sentimental. Did I get it because of Sean Lane? Okay, cool. There's another thing. Another closing idea with that. No, I didn't get it because of Sean Lane. I've never been a massive Sean Lane fan. Never been a huge Sean Lane fan. You guys could, like, the beauty of me telling stories like this is you can check all of these things because the dates will all add up, right? So I said that I played that guitar for like 5 years or so in the shop that it was in. So when I first moved to London, in my first year of university, Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy finally came out, which I love, by the way. Love that album. And when it did, in order to promote that album, well, to take advantage of the fact that that album had come out, Vigier put on a clinic with Bumblefoot at Chapels in London. It's a guitar shop, or a music shop. And I went to that, and Bumblefoot was at that. And there's a picture of me somewhere, like meeting Ron there for the first time. I'm wearing a white Paul Gilbert Silence followed by a Deafening Roar t-shirt. I'm a lot skinnier. Meeting Ron, and afterwards I went into the shop and was like, cool, let's check out some of these Vigier guitars. And I played that red one. That was when I played it for the first time, and me and all of my friends fell in love with it. We all loved it. And then for years, like maybe 2 years, we would all talk about buying a Vigier, custom ordering a Vigier. That was like the dream. That was what we all wanted after playing that guitar. So it's amazing that I own that one. But what was the question? Yeah, so if anything, it was because of Bumblefoot. I've always loved Ron's playing. I actually have a video planned on Bumblefoot this coming week, so I'll be talking about Bumblefoot and the untranscribable, as I describe him. That's why I got it. But also, you know, those that know my background will know that I had a deal with Sir guitars for quite a while. A couple of Sirs, and I've still got a Sir Telecaster that I enjoy. I like that guitar a lot, but it got to the point where when I started playing Sir, nobody was playing Sir. Nobody was playing Sir. Everybody wanted to, but nobody was playing Sir. So when I had that guitar, the first one I got, you'd get it out, and people would be like, "Oh my god, where did you get it? Can I play it? Can I give it a go?" But then as they became more popular, people started to associate the guitars with certain players and certain styles of players. Of course, there was Guthrie, but then, you know, Rick Graham and Tom Quayle, they started becoming much more popular. And I found that whenever I was going out in any live setting where people didn't know me, I would pull out the guitar and people would make decisions about what you were going to play like before you even played. You'd pull a guitar out and people would be like, "Oh man, nice guitar, you must be really good." They might not say that, but they're thinking, "You must be really good." Or, "Wow, I bet you're a great fusion player." And I hated that. I hated it so much. So I ended up dropping the Sir and dropping the deal that I had with Sir, and I bought a couple of Gibsons. I had a gold top Les Paul. I bought a custom shop gold top Les Paul, and I bought an SG, which I love, and I miss that guitar. Miss that guitar a lot. And I played those for a while because what I wanted was my own identity. And yeah, it was then when I was like, I was out at NAMM. I was hanging out with the guys at Vigier because I was working for the magazine. I met Bumblefoot again and had a great time getting on with the guys at Vigier, who I'd known for quite a while at that point because of working with them with the magazine. Yeah, that was when I was like, you know what, I could probably justify it now. Let me show the girlfriend the old guitar, found the guitar, bought the guitar. So it wasn't because of Sean Lane, no. Having a relationship with guitar is special. One of the guitars I've always wanted to buy was from Alexi Lyle, Children of Bodom, ESP guitar, V Jackson. Yeah, I'd never liked those guitars. Like it was destiny. What a treasure. Yeah. Does it have a name? It does. She's called Ruby Weapon. Ruby Weapon. Ruby Weapon after Ruby Weapon from Final Fantasy VII. I had a green one. I don't have that guitar anymore. I had a green Vigier as well, which I called Emerald Weapon. When I released my Hellcat Molly album, I started a record label, and it's called Ruby Weapon Records. Ruby Weapon, yeah. She's called Ruby Weapon. Or just Ruby. So, yeah. Love her. Love Lane's tone, yeah. I have a reasonably... It's funny you should say that, right? I have a reasonably good memory for personal experience, but I have a terrible memory for when it comes to anything that's like recalling knowledge. Memories and knowledge are two different things, right? I've ingrained music theory and stuff like that. Cool. That's like part of my DNA. So that stuff I don't really think about, but the reason I started transcribing was because I couldn't remember songs. I could learn them, but I didn't remember them. So I had to write things down. I transcribed licks, and I had to write them down because otherwise they'd be gone forever. This way I could, check back on them. So bad musical memory, but generally for experiences, good memory. Also probably helps that I don't really drink and I don't do drugs, so I often have a clear mind. I wouldn't say I'm straight edge, but I'm not straight edge, but yeah, it means I remember things. Bumblefoot is great. Have I ever got starstruck meeting a guitar player that I love? Not meeting. I've met, obviously, like many of my heroes and interviewed many of my heroes, from childhood heroes to modern day heroes, and always been like super cool because as far as I'm concerned, he's just a person just like me. He puts his pants on one leg at a time, cool. He shits too. He has a relationship with a significant other, and I bet he argues with them. He's had good times, he's had bad times. We're all just people, right? Why is someone sending me money? Cool. Thought that was £700 there. I got my hopes up there. Yeah, so meeting like Zakk Wylde was amazing, but he was cool, and it was cool. The only time that I ever remember getting very kind of like nervous wasn't meeting someone, but I went to see the Marshall 50th anniversary concert. I got VIP tickets for that via Malmsteen's people. I got a little bit starstruck around Malmsteen just because of his entire attitude and the way he is. But then I sat down for the gig and I looked behind me, and Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth was sat behind me, and I was full on like, oh my God, babe, Michael Ackerfeld sat behind us. He's so cool. I love him so much. Yeah, and I hate bothering people. Like, if I'm not meeting you for work, you're just here to enjoy a gig, so I'm not going to bother you. If I see you on the street, I'm not going to bother you. You get on with your thing. I remember once I was when I was in the States once, I went out to Morton's Steakhouse in where would it have been? By not Universal, Warner Brothers, up by Warner Brothers in California, and went to Morton's, sitting down having a nice steak dinner with my partner, and Chris Jericho came in. Chris Jericho came in and was sat at the table, like not next to us, but like diagonally across from us, and it was just me and her, and he was in there with his manager. That was it. They were the only people there, and that would be fine. But I was wearing a WWE t-shirt with a big WWE logo on it, and I don't like. I would never go and bother him. No interest in going and bother him. But at the same time, I think that ruined it. Well, maybe he didn't give a shit, but I'm sure there was that niggling fear in the back of his mind, like, oh God, sat here, I'm going to have a nice steak dinner, there's a guy over there and he's wearing a bloody WWE shirt, like he's going to come and ruin my meal. I didn't. Yeah, that's me. I don't interrupt people, let them do their things. So have I ever felt disappointed in meeting somebody famous? Many times. Killswitch Engage was a disaster. They were an absolute fucking disaster. I really wrote some nice questions for those guys when I interviewed them, and I'd not essays, but like a paragraph of question, like, you've done this, and this, and you've contributed so much to music because of this, and this. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it was that kept you so interested in music production as well as guitar playing? And then I'd get a one-word answer or a one-sentence answer. No, not really. That was a brutal interview, absolutely brutal. I remember like mid-question, because we were really short on time and I wanted to interview Trivia and we were going to run out of time. So literally mid-interview, I just turned to the main camera and I was like, cool. So, Kill Switch Engage, thanks very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I've been Levi Clay for Guitar Interactive Magazine, and we'll see you again soon. And immediately left the room. The cameraman turned to me, and who was filming, he was like, what was that all about? Why did you cut it so short? We can't, that was like 10 minutes. And I was like, do you think that we would have got it was going to get any better if we stayed? Like, it's so much that interview's never going to get used. Never ever going to get used. It was a disaster. We might as well try and salvage the day by getting a good interview. Unfortunately, Trivium, Matt Heafy and Corey, I'm not even going to try and pronounce Corey's surname, but Matt and Corey, they were fantastic. Love talking to those guys. Really passionate about music. So there you go. Names. You got names. Do I like George Van Epp's Harmonic Mechanisms books? I have all 3 of those. They are heavy, and I don't just mean in terms of their weight. The content in them is heavy. I've not worked through them. I've read maybe the first 2 chapters of the first one, and I'm like, cool, I'll come back to this in 20 years. I'm glad that they're in my collection, though, so I'd say that. I think most musicians not abusing drugs and alcohol is a good thing. Yep, produces more consistent output. Clean for 2... You've been clean for 2 years. Screwed up my early 20s. Good to hear that, Russell. Yeah, good for you, man. I mean, I live in Scotland, so every now and again I still like to get fucked up, but it's not a regular occurrence, you know. Twice a year. Oh, good pun. Yeah, good pun. Yeah, I remember vividly when Trivium's Ascendancy came out. Vividly, and I can still pick up my guitar now and play like Light to Flies and practicing that. I know that stuff well. Both guitar parts, play the harmonies to them. So yeah, absolutely loved that album when it came out. Not so much a fan of the Crusade. I thought the Crusade was dreadful actually, but then Shogun came out after that, which I loved. Absolutely loved Shogun. It wasn't until later on that I went back and listened to Shogun, but I immediately found that I really liked that. And then In Waves was the one after that, which is great. I didn't like the one that came after that. I forget the name of them. I know this David Draymond produced it, and you can tell, like, it sounds like he helped craft a lot of those melodies. So, Jason Shadrick, there he is, the man. How's it going, man? Oh yeah, man. We should talk about that. We should hook up and talk about some of the, because you guys think that I've met a bunch of famous people. Like Jason Shadrick gets to talk to all of the cool guys. Jason Shadrick of Premier Guitar Magazine. Yeah, I can imagine. I bet you've met some amazing people, and you also met some absolute rotters, as my father-in-law would say. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there were any as bad as that Kill Switch interview. That was shiver thinking about it. Oh, horrifying. Actually, oh no, you know what? There was one, and it wasn't the person I was interviewing's fault. It was my fault. I interviewed Mark Holcomb of Periphery at NAMM one year, and it was in the morning. Like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And I drank a little bit too much at NAMM that year. And when I say a little bit too much, it was the last time I went to NAMM, because I think I was such a liability for the company. I think they were just like, no. It's just solid, like, absolutely annihilated. And I turned up to this interview still drunk. Just still drunk. There's no denying I was still drunk, but it's fine. I can get by. Get by absolutely fine, because I know Mark, I know his music, I like Periphery, and at the time they had just released the double album, Alpha Omega, Juggernaut. So I loved that album. So I was really, really keen to talk about a lot of that album. And I sat down with him, and it was for PRS, of course, because it's NAMM, right? So we're at PRS's booth. We're in a private room for PRS. And I was like, cool, so let's talk about Juggernaut. Let's talk about Alpha Omega. I said, I absolutely love the album, and I know that it's a concept album. I love concept albums. So I was like, could we talk maybe a little bit about the story, about what's the concept? And I had so much planned around that, and he just turned around and went, no, I mean, to be honest, I think I'd rather let people listen to the album and kind of see if they can try and work out what it is. I don't want to necessarily like paint the picture too clearly for people. I want them to put their own interpretations on things. And that knocked me for 6 because I was like, I kind of relied on that quite a lot for some of our material, right? So struggling from that point. So I'm asking him about his signature PRS that had just been made, right? Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. We talked about like the finish on it, which they call it the like the brisket burst, I think they call it, because it looks like when you smoke a brisket for like 10 hours, it has that kind of smoke ring around the edge. Like really nice finish. We were talking about the guitar, and my mind just went blank. So I'm like staring at him, and I'm like, so. Yeah, so this is a really nice top. I was like, what pickups do you have in it? And he talks about his signature pickups, and I'm just sat there going, and I'll never ever forget the feeling of going, what nut do you have on it? Jesus, what nut do you have on it? That was a bad one. That was a really, really bad one. Don't think we used that interview either. Sound like a professional. Initials SHRP. I mean, it could be Scott Henderson, but it could also be Steve Howe. So, would it freak you out if you saw the name Tom Hess on my Patreon page? Not really, no. I'd laugh. I have a great Scott Henderson story, though. Not where Scott is like a punchline in any way, shape or form, but I went to see Scott play with, was it a solo gig or Tribal Tech? I've seen him play both a solo gig and with Tribal Tech. It really doesn't matter who it was. It was probably Tribal Tech. Both of them will have been at Ronnie Scott's. So you get an interval between sets, right? And after the first set, Scott Henderson goes outside. And I wanted to go outside and like meet Scott, say hello to Scott, because he's one of my heroes, like one of my biggest influences. I absolutely love Scott, and he's playing. And I wanted to get him to sign some of his albums. So I'm having a conversation with him. He's really nice guy. Really cool. And then this guy comes up, and I'm trying to look for the right words, right? You could tell that he was a bit mentally challenged. Let's go with that. Just sort of interjected himself in the conversation, and was like, "Hi, Scott. Hi. It's a real pleasure to meet you today. I've been a big fan of yours for many years." Nice compliments. It's the kind of things you say to people, right? And Scott's like, "Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks so much for coming down. I really appreciate it." And then, without skipping a beat, he goes, "But I'm going to go home now. I'm not going to check out the other set." And Scott's like, "Oh, it's a shame. But yeah, again, thanks so much for coming down." And you could tell that he's trying to get back to the conversation he was having with me and these other guys. And then the guy goes, "Yeah, I stayed for the whole first set, but it was just really boring." And Scott's like, "Well, fuck me. Sorry, man. I tried my best. I'll try and play better next half." And this guy walked off, and Scott's just like laughing his ass off. Took it in good spirits. Oh, Scott Henderson, absolutely love him. I'm sure Scott doesn't remember that, but I'll remember that till the day I die. Yeah, when you're from Scotland, there's no such thing as too drunk. But there is such a thing as too drunk when you're being a professional. And the thing is, like, for anyone that's been to NAMM, I'm not going to say like there's an expectation to be like that, but there are upsides and downsides to being like that in a situation like that. Upsides and downsides, right? Because I've got a lot of friends in the industry, of course, artists, and in turn I've got to know people that work for companies. they're up for a party. They're just up for a party. Like, these are wild people that they're rock and roll guys, right? So, Rick Parfitt, they're rock and roll guys, right? So, cool. That's awesome. Rock and roll guys. So I managed to introduce guys from the magazine to a lot of high profile people, because it was like there'd be a private, like, gated off champagne party that was being held by like a boutique amp builder. I'm not going to name any names, right? And of course, like, I'm there with like artists that play the amps, and having a good time with their management and stuff. And like, we're all drunk, and they pull me in because we're like, drinking, and they're like, cool, champagne party, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to intrude, and they're like, no, you're totally welcome. And they introduced me to the amp builder and stuff, and that's cool. And then, like, I see like Lick Library people and magazine guys, and I'm like, oh, I should probably get back to those guys. And they're like, oh no, bring them in. And I'm like, you sure? And they're like, yeah, bring them in. We'll drink some champagne. We'll have a good time. So in that respect, like, it's good. It's good because I introduced them to put into new circles, and then the way I see it is it's up to them to capitalise on that. Having said that, when you can't formulate a sentence when you're trying to interview someone, not so good. So, not so good at all. Neil Peart knocked me over backstage. He was in a hurry to get to his motor. Amazing. I remember a story from, I wasn't involved in this, but our camera guys were interviewing Zakk Wylde, which they seem to do all the bloody time. And they filmed this interview, and it was like downstairs, and they travelled down all these stairs, and they need to get back up, and they had all their gear, and they saw one of those like trolley rack type things. So they just put all their gear on this trolley rack, and then wheeled it to the elevator, took the elevator up, and then was loading up the car, right? And then like 5 minutes later, like, Zakk Wylde comes out of the, like, kicks the door and goes walking out into the car park. It's like carrying an amp and an amp head and a guitar case, and he's like, sweating and angry and raging, and he's like, some motherfucker stole my trolley. And Rich, our camera guy, fortunately, when he by the elevator, he left the trolley at the elevator and was just carrying the camera gear at this time. And Zack's like, you see which motherfucker did that? And Zakk doesn't sound anything like that. I don't know why I'm doing that. And Rich is like, no, man, didn't see anything. That would have been a close one. Yeah, I think if Zakk Wylde in that situation, yeah, odd one. I walked in on Zakk Wylde sleeping once as well. That was Zakk Wylde and Kerry King, not in the same bed, separate beds. Kerry King snoring away, lying down. I could just see his beard going. Another awkward one. So. It's been a wild ride. Anyway, guys, it's any more questions? Because it's 2:10 in the morning. I should probably get off. This has been a really enjoyable experience, guys. The transcribing has been fun, but also more importantly, I've got these lights on me, and because I'm using these LED bulbs, not the halogen bulbs, this room is not hot. It's not warmed up at all. So I'm really comfortable now. I feel that I could talk for much longer. Because, yeah, so again, I should just say a huge thank you to my supporters on Patreon, because I bought these lights because you guys give me the money each month that I can afford to buy things to improve my videos and to make doing my job a little bit easier. I met Kerry King, yeah, that was at the Marshall 50th thing where I mentioned that Zakk Wylde and Kerry King story. Hadn't planned to do any more Symphony X Michael Romeo stuff. I might get around to it. Essentially what happened with that was, obviously I was really excited that Michael Romeo was releasing this solo album. His first ever, not first ever solo album, but his first solo album in like 20 years or whatever. And I know his label representative, so I reached out to Lee, his label rep, and I was like, look, I know you need promotion for the new album. Can you hook me up with Michael for an interview? That'd be cool. I can't think of a better channel to have him on, because being interviewed by somebody that's a fan always works better, because they know you and they don't ask the boring questions. They can really dig in and ask great questions. It's like when you watch, I Hot Ones on First We Feast, right? Sean, the guy that does the interview, all right, maybe he's not a huge fan, but you can tell that he's really done the research to ask really interesting questions. So I think being a fan is really important. Not really important, but yeah, like I said, it makes for a better interview. And I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I kept doing loads of Michael Romeo videos just to show the guys over there, like, look, this, I know what I'm talking about. I know this stuff inside out. I'm the guy to do this interview. It'll get a lot of profile. And eventually I heard back, and they were like, yeah, Michael, he's up for doing an interview. How would that work? And I was like, well, I'll call him on Skype, and I'll capture all the video and everything, and it'll just take half an hour out of his day, and we'll get some promotion for the album going on. And then they came back to me and they were like, oh, so we just spoke to Michael, and Michael doesn't actually do video interviews. Michael will only do a phone interview. When do you want to schedule it for? And I was like, he only does phone interviews in 2018. I'm going to pass. I turned the interview down because, have him hit me up when he's joined the 21st century. I'm not doing a phone interview in 2018 for a YouTube video. It's a video. People are going to come here to watch it. I know that he can film. I know he has a webcam because I've seen footage of him in his home studio. So, yeah, hit me back if he changes his mind. He didn't change his mind. So it got to the point where I was like, cool, I'm not interested in talking about his new album then. Russ Parrish of Steel Panther. I'd love to interview Russ Parrish. Oh, would I? I bet he's a pain in the arse. If he's in character, he's a pain in the arse. Right pain in the arse. Yeah. One more question before my day ends. Do I like the band High on Fire? I don't know who the band High on Fire are. Sorry. So, yeah. That was a disappointing last question. I'll give it 60 seconds. If anybody comes in with any more questions in the next 60 seconds, I will answer them. If not, I'm going to log off. I'm not a Ben Monder fan, no. I'm very familiar with his music. When it comes to jazz, what I'm into is like this Josh Smith thing, which is very rooted in swing. I'm very into early jazz. I'm very into swing and bebop and like traditional real book songs, right? Then you've got these things become more modern, and when harmony starts to become more modern and rhythms become more modern, and when it loses the thing that I can latch onto, which is swing and the blues, and that's why I like Western swing and stuff like that. When it moves into that territory, I find it hard to latch onto it. I don't relate to it. So when I listen to Ben's music, I find it hard to relate to. In the same way that I feel about like Alan Holdsworth's music, I want something I can relate to. Which is why, like when I listen to Josh Smith, like I just think he's one of the greatest guitar players on the planet. He just is, because he plays the kind of stuff I'm into. Like when I sat and watched Josh do a clinic, like it was just amazing listening to him talk about his influences, because it was like listening to me talk. Everything that he said was just like all the guys that I talk about. So yeah, I prefer that. Very welcome, Blaze. I didn't meet Dimebag. Nope. I didn't even get to see Dimebag, if memory serves. No, I didn't even get to see Dimebag. I almost saw Damage Plan, but then they changed the stage that they were on at Download, and we didn't get the memo. So, very welcome, Rowan 170. My favourite chord is a C9 sharp 11 with the G in the bass. It's a Danny Gatton chord. It's like this. Love that chord. What would that be? That'd be G, C, what am I playing? G, C, E, B flat, D, F sharp. Or 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2. Well, enjoy work, Elio. Dimebag's been gone for a while, he has. I was never really a Dimebag fan. I'll talk about that on the good on the Guitar Souls podcast at some point soon, though. Anyway, yeah. So that'll be me, guys. Much love. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, spread the word. Please do check me out on Patreon. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Please do check out VPix. Please do buy one of my books on Amazon. There's so many great ways that you can support me. And if you can't do it monetarily, if you can't do it with money, then fuck off. No, I'm kidding. If you can't do it monetarily, that's absolutely fine. Tell a friend. Just tell a friend about my videos. The more people that are watching them, the more time I can justify taking out of my work schedule in order to make more videos for you. So yes, I appreciate you guys. You really do mean a lot to me. And I will see you as the month goes on with more videos. So much love. Laters.